the snap. Handoff. Carlos hangs on. Bobs to the left side. 10 to the 5. 3, 2, 1. Bulls win. Knowles win. Knowles win. Carlos Williams with a 12-yard touchdown run to the left side of the formation. Celebrate, Seminoles. Celebrate. Dance to the war chant. Knowles beat Clemson 23-17.
Never underestimate the heart of a champion. Never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Boy, did we have fun broadcasting that that game, huh? How about William Floyd? Never underestimate the heart of a champion. That capped the Napleton Infinity drive of the game. A game-winning 12-yard touchdown run by Carlos Williams, which capped a two-play, 25-yard drive in overtime. And that was brought to you by Napleton Infinity of Tallahassee. It just doesn't get any better than overtime wins against the rival, does it, Coach?
No, it doesn't. I mean, a game of that quality and that game and that magnitude and it was great to come out on top. It definitely was.
Yeah, 23-17, and Carlos Williams with that touchdown run, and I think the entire Seminole Nation just stood up with a big sigh of relief. You could hear it. Welcome to our show. If you're watching on ABC 27, if you're listening on the Seminole IMG Sports Network, it's the Jimbo Fisher Call-In Show, and we are talking about Saturday's huge win over Clemson and getting ready for a trip to Raleigh, North Carolina to take on a team that's been sort of a nemesis to the Seminoles over the last dozen years or so, and that's North Carolina State. If you want to chime in, 1-877-996-6537. That's easier to remember as 1-877-99-KNOWLES. If you're watching here on television locally, you still have to dial long distance to connect with Coach Fisher. Ready for some more calls, Coach?
Let's go.
Here we go. Let's talk to Bill from Tampa. Go ahead, Bill. You're on the air.
Good evening, Coach and Gene. Congratulations on the win over Clemson, Coach. I'm sure that game will be remembered for a long, long time. And certainly good luck against North Carolina State on Saturday.
Thank you.
Two questions for you. We all saw the numerous opportunities that Clemson had that they didn't convert into points, and we saw the big plays, the opportunities that we took advantage of to score or stop them defensively. But was there a particular play that might not have been noticed by most that kind of turned the tide for us? And secondly, the quarterback at North Carolina State, we're familiar with him. He was at another program in that other school across state. Is there much difference in his play then compared to now where he's at North Carolina State?
Yeah, I think he's grown as a player. You see much more consistency, and you see the older veteran guy who's very comfortable in what he's doing. He was a very young player when he was at Florida, very talented, just like he is now. But you see a guy that's very comfortable, been in their offense, even though for 2 years because he had to sit out a year with them. And, that guy looks totally different than when he did at Florida. And I think it's one for maturity and then knowledge of what he's doing. I don't know, as I say in that game, any plays that you didn't see. I mean, there were so many from the fourth down stop to the fumble in regulation to the pass to Rashad, to tie up the score. We overcame an interception, which I thought was a bad interference call that was missed, that we were driving there in the middle of the field one time. But, I don't think there was any one play, but I think there was a significant amount of plays that the tide actually turned against us, and our kids didn't flinch. I mean, the will of our kids. That's what we get so caught up in X's and O's, which is critical. You have to execute. But still, the mindset of a team, the culture of a team, their ability to compete and their ability, as I say, not to flinch and just keep playing, to me that was never more on display than it was Saturday night, and the culture of our team. That's what I was so proud of. And it was the plays that turned against us that the next play we played and would sustain a drive or stop something. To me, that was as significant as anything in the game.
All right, Bill, thanks for your two-part question from Tampa, a regular caller on the show. And, Coach, I'll throw out something. It's a team sport. It's offense, defense, special team. Florida State special teams really stood out in that ballgame. A 50-yard made field goal, and Casey Beatty punted as well as he's been.
Casey Beatty saved us, it was our football team getting great punts. When we weren't moving the ball, and then pinning guys. We've had 3 punts inside the 20-yard line where they had to start. You hear me talk about that all the time. Field position as a play caller, when you're inside that 20, things change. And then they had a freshman quarterback. They had some inexperienced linemen, so that play door. You got to be patient sometimes in that regard. And Casey Beatty was huge in that football game.
Can't take 50-yard field goals for granted, can you?
Who?
That's a big
Roberto,
field goal.
that guy.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's
Can't
just. I
take
mean,
those
it
for
was.
granted.
I mean, just it goes out there, and you'll never say anything's automatic. It's automatic because he works his tail off and makes himself like that. But he and his other thing was his kickoffs. You didn't realize our kickoff coverage. We got back to him hitting the ball high, pinning it inside the 5, then our speed of our team getting down there and making tackles on the 15, 16, 18-yard line, that was significant 3 or 4 times. And tell you what, the guys covering those kicks now, Nate Andrews had 3 or 4 tackles alone on it, and the other guy that was forcing those plays was Dalvin Cook. You didn't realize Dalvin Cook on edge, hitting that speed and getting it there and disrupting it, making it bounce. Now all of a sudden our guys could rally to the point, and we've gotten much better in that regard. And Dalvin was huge in that part.
I saw number 4 out there on special teams. My God, true freshman from Miami, pretty good running back too. Crawdad is in Huntsville, Alabama. And Crawdad, you're on the air with Jimbo. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Coach Eugene.
Hey, Crawdad, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hey, congrats on the win, Coach. I tell you what, I may need to install a defibrillator in my living room after too many more like that.
What would you guys do if he was on the sideline? Crawdad, what would you guys do if he was on the sideline?
I was going to ask you about Jason Beatty and what he had for the pregame meal, and whatever it was, can you please make sure that he continues to eat the same thing? We were really proud. Thanks, and go Noles.
Hey, I promise you this. Most players are very superstitious. I'll promise you what he did, I'll bet he does it again.
All right, Crawdad from Huntsville, thanks for your call, a regular caller as well. Knowles fans, register online at knowlescontest.com for the chance to be the official photographer of the game. Winners get pregame hospitality, game tickets, and more. This exclusive opportunity is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the membership advantage, the official photographer of the game contest. The Jimbo Fisher Call-In Show, presented by Napleton Infinity, live from the 4 Points by Sheridan, will continue after these messages.